Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Brooklyn Tea Party meeting. There was another event, I know Bill you were there, my friend said hello to you. At 86th Street and 13th Avenue, get out the vote rally, right? To help out our candidates in Bay Ridge and the president, of course, Nicole Malliotakis for Congress, Vito Bruno for State Senate, and we need all your help in the upcoming days to help out in those campaigns. There's also a state assembly race. I think that overlaps with Nicole Malliotakis' own district. She was still assemblywoman. Who's running for the Tanusis?
Yeah, Tanusis.
But that's Nicole's.
Yeah, so he's also the overlap part of Brooklyn. So he'll need our help. So I encourage everyone to go down to the Republican headquarters. Where do they have that now?
13th Avenue?
13th Avenue? Okay.
13th Avenue what?
What street? 75th?
I think 77.
We'll get that information out there. So they need people to make phone calls and to do door-to-door, hand out literature, get the vote out. Very important. Early voting is early, obviously. I think it starts October 24th. So I'm voting at Brooklyn College. It's my early voting set, and I work there. So I will make sure I'll vote that first Saturday. A video where you can vote. You go to the Board of Elections website and find out where your early voting site is. Get it out of the way. On election day, it'll be a madhouse. You know, try to get it out of the way, because who knows what shenanigans could happen. Unless you have an absentee ballot, if you already have that sent to your house, make sure it's sent out and mailed, because we don't want any missing ballots, right? Every vote counts. You never know what could happen, especially in the presidential race, especially if you live in that congressional race. Very important to get that vote out. Take your friends, see the 11th, take your friends out to vote, remind your friends. Of course, the Democrats, remind them that the election is the day after. And, so just get out there, vote, support our candidates, support our city, because it really needs all the help it can get. And Bill will be touching upon that in a second.
We go on the Board of Elections?
Yeah, Board of Elections website. So before we start our meeting, let's all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. As you can tell, we are in the week 16 days before Election Day. And it is very important, like I said before, to get out there, vote, get support, do whatever you could do. If that means putting something on Twitter, if they don't take it down, of course, Facebook, whatever thing you could contribute, even if it's a comment on whatever idiot's posting, whatever it is, to give encouragement to someone else, like, oh yeah, there's other people that think like me, yeah, and whatever it needs to be done. It's important to get some sort of energy. We need energy here. So that's important. Also, what they've done to our president, if you look at the town hall meeting, quite disgusting, right?
Yeah.
Savannah, Georgia, is that what her name is? Guthrie, or Savannah, Georgia. Maybe she thought she was in Georgia, I don't know. Oh my God, I'm having a Biden moment. So, Savannah Guthrie. Okay, so she had 43 questions. 43 questions. The audience had how many? I think 10. What a town hall that was, huh? It was more like a town hall where the center, everyone goes to the square of the town with the pitchforks and the flames. Quasimodo is running for the bell tower.
President Trump held his own.
Yes, he did. He
The way he sat there.
certainly did.
He said,
He smiled.
he
Yeah.
was strong.
And that lady behind him, that was beautiful. That was, see, they could, they were like, oh my God, why is this lady behind him? Oh, they were all cringing at NBC, let me tell you. So it was perfect. The optics on that was beautiful.
We should be as
He's
strong as he
absolutely
was.
true. He did excellent
Excellent.
under the circumstances.
That's
And of
right.
course, the Biden,
That was great.
the
Oh my
Biden
God.
Town Hall
Oh, corrupt.
was a wonderful, nice little coddleization, okay? George Stephanopoulos, or Snuffleupagus, he was very nice. I thought he was going to change his diaper next. But, very nice.
calm, very calm,
very
right?
calm, very soothing. So, at least he hit hard-hitting questions. I mean, we all could agree, right? Talked about Biden's son. Yeah, okay, sure. Big tech. Big tech is doing what they can do to make sure, I mean, they should be up for campaign finance law abuses, what they're doing. They should be, fined, arrested, whatever, because what they're doing here to screw with everything is disgusting, okay? So we have to remember one thing, that we have big tech against us, we have the media against us, we have the neighbor against us right there making noise, thank you. We have everything against us. So we have to remember that at the end of the day, you need to fight, get your voice out there. I don't care if we're at the Alamo. At the Alamo, they fought to the last person, right? You gotta make sure your voice is out there, because at the end of the day, they scream. He who screams the loudest gets their way, it seems like, right? Well, open your voices, open your mouths, scream, do what you must. Don't be a criminal like they are, but get your voice out there. It's important to show that there's a pulse on our side, that we are, that they're chiming in too, and that there's a pulse that we need to get our voice out there. So, without further ado, we have a couple of housekeeping notes regards to the Brooklyn Tea Party. Membership, we're doing membership, it's $10. We're going to take it for next year. This will be for next year, since who knows when we're going to be in person again to do this. So we'll be next year. This will be for the 2021, and we'll be doing that at the end. But before that, I'm going to hand it over to our secretary, Larry. Larry, he has a couple of notes. You want to talk about our upcoming nominations? Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Hi everybody. So at that time, just like we're talking about general elections and nationwide and citywide, we have our own nominations and elections to go through. So the Brooklyn Tea Party has 4 officers. President Glenn O'Sara currently, Vice President Bill Lloyd, myself, I'm the Secretary Larry Schneier, and our Treasurer, who's not here today, Daniel Ramos. These are positions that are open for nominations and elections at a future meeting. All positions are open for nominations. In order to be nominated, you must be a member in good standing, a dues-paying member, and have attended at least 4 meetings within the past year.
That includes the Zoom meetings.
Yes, that includes the virtual meetings, correct, thank you. So, we talked about this a little bit at our last meeting. We didn't get any nominations. We will open it up again. So we will start with the position of president. Are there any, from the floor, any nominations for president of the Brooklyn Tea Party? I will nominate Glenn O'Sara for another term as president
It
of
seems like
the Brooklyn Tea Party.
Seems like a sentence.
Do I have a second for Glenn O'Sara?
Everybody,
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
everybody.
Are there any other nominations for president? No other nominations?
4 more years.
Oh, God, that's 4 more terms. All right, so go ahead, Larry.
Okay. So Glenn is our only nominee. I wonder who our president's
It's gonna wind up.
be.
It's gonna wind up being. Let me tell you, this will be my 5th term. I served 4 terms as the president of the Brooklyn Young Republican Club before this, from 2011 to 2015 till June. So from June till February of 2016, that's when I took over this organization. So I had a couple months to breathe. And now when it's all said and done, it'll be like 11 straight years of doing this. God help me. Please,
The FDR
get involved,
of
people.
today,
We need
Brooklyn
new life. We need
politics.
new lifeblood to take over. So I can only do this so much. So Larry, you're the
Nominations
other.
are closed, I
No,
guess.
for the president. Now, the other
Okay,
position.
Vice President.
I nominate Bill Lloyd for vice president. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay.
Are there any other nominations for Vice President?
Can you nominate yourself?
Who is asking? You can nominate yourself. Malcolm, are you interested?
Not sure. But if someone needs to run, still doesn't run.
Wait,
Can you speak up, Malcolm?
This is not a communist style election. We don't
No,
kill.
you can nominate
I mean, I do have a
yourself.
pond here, but it's not full.
Wait, so hold on. So Malcolm, are you
Yeah.
interested in the Vice President position?
Yeah, I guess I'll try. Why not?
Okay. Do we have a second for Malcolm?
Me,
Rudy, okay.
All right, well, I guess we're going to have an election. We're going to have this as a November election. We're going to have this the day, we're going to try to do in the back, because it's hard to, as you very well all know, it's very hard to have an in-person meeting anywhere. It's hard to get a restaurant or the library like we normally have it. And since that's the case, we're going to keep one more meeting out, hopefully nice strong sun back here. And we'll do it Sunday after election. Okay, whatever that will fall on. So that will be
In
tentative
November?
in November. Tentatively, that will be the date. Okay, so hopefully it won't be too cold. Usually we have the warm fall. Sometimes we have a couple spell days. So hopefully
maybe we should have it for Thanksgiving, because no one's gonna be invited anywhere.
And we can have the turkey
No,
over
I'm
here.
going to Jersey.
Right.
So neighbors, I'm going to Jersey. If you'd like to rob my house and video, don't worry, I have someone waiting behind the door with a shotgun. I hired him. So don't worry.
All right.
Thanks for the invite.
That's for the shotgun weddings, I hope.
Any other nominations for Vice President?
Okay, no white race, no.
Okay, Secretary.
Secretary, I nominate Larry Schneier, my best friend here. I love you, man. He was my secretary for the Brooklyn
Yes,
Young
it's like
Republicans.
it's like a prison sentence. Exactly.
It's like the mob. That's what you do. You just
I keep trying to get out, but he keeps pulling me back in. You know.
try my best. You know, and Alan, our chairman who broke his toe, who's not here today.
Yeah.
Toes. He was my secretary also before Larry, but Alan was also secretary of the Brooklyn Young Republican Club too.
See what he does to his
But
secretaries? He doesn't
Larry,
let them go.
Alan one-upped you. Alan was also secretary with me at Brooklyn College.
Well, I didn't go to
When
Brooklyn
I was
College,
president of the Brooklyn College Young Republicans Club. So when I was president of the Brooklyn College Young Republicans Club, Alan was also my secretary. I like to keep people
What a
close,
sort
right?
of
So Larry, the next position.
Is there a second?
Yep, someone has to second that.
Second?
Second, Larry, someone second.
And
I don't know.
second?
Someone second Larry for me. There you go.
I'll second.
Yeah, she's a. You can't get out of this. All right.
No,
so,
I don't want my girlfriend seconding me. We want to keep things on the level here.
Oh,
Thank you.
no fighting.
And
Okay.
I'm not a member till next year, so.
Right. So the next one would
Is
be.
there any
I
other
can't
nominations
nominate.
for
Can't nominate.
secretary?
All right. So
Hold on. Any other nominations
He's really
for,
pushing this.
for secretary? Yes, I'm really pushing this.
no, Larry, I think it's good.
Okay.
All right. I don't think the neighbor wants to chime in, but anyway.
Treasurer.
Treasurer. I nominate Daniel Ramos for treasurer.
Okay, Daniel is not here, but okay.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Martin, right there. Okay. And I think that's anyone else?
Anybody else wants to handle the money?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anything else?
That will be it, and then
We
we
have
do have an election now.
we have elections next month. We do have board positions that will be decided on by the elected officers. And
Right.
we have up to how many board members?
I think it's 3.
Okay, up to 3 board members. So we have Martin as a board member.
So, and I think there's...
Alan is the chairman of the board,
Chairman,
and then I think
one
there's
more.
a vacancy.
I think there's a vacancy.
I
Yeah,
think I was
so-
voted in.
Yeah.
Cookie Monopoly is a board member. Yeah,
It's either him or,
no, Cottrell.
no, the other one, well, Control, maybe, yeah.
Cottrell,
Control.
Yeah, but Cottrell is
Right.
also not.
He moved. Cottrell,
Yeah,
our former
Cottrell
vice
moved,
president,
yes.
Yeah, I had
escaped to Arizona, but at least he's a vote for the president in Arizona.
In Arizona,
So that's-
and maybe Martha McSally as well.
Right.
So yeah,
So
so
we needed
it's,
that vote also.
we need him out there in Arizona.
So he'll help us from beyond.
Okay.
So, if that's,
From overseas.
everything
I
good with the
believe that's
housekeeping?
it.
And like I said, dues we'll take for next year.
Yes,
So
we'll
you can
collect
see
this at the
Larry at the end, it's $10 for the whole
yes,
year.
$10.
Help us out, and, we could do that afterwards.
Yes.
All right?
All right.
treasurer today.
He's the
And
treasurer
we will
today.
split it up
Yeah, I'll
between
keep
us.
them.
Yes.
Just write it down.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for the seconding or nomination, Menachem participate in our elections. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Bill Pepitone. And he is running a candidate for the New York City mayor. So we need a new mayor.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. It's an absolute honor to be here and to speak before you. My name is Bill Pepitone, and I am running for mayor of New York City in 2020. So how did I get here? How did I get to this backyard today? It's all my parents' fault. I blame everything on them. My mother and father, what's that?
They always blame Trump, so now.
Right, I blame yeah. Some of you may recognize my name. My uncle did play for the Yankees back in the 1960s.
Yeah.
What you may not know, probably don't know, is my father played minor league ball for the San Francisco Giants. So we were living actually in North Carolina. My parents were living in North Carolina at the time when he was playing minor league ball. And then life threw him a curveball, little Billy, baby boy Billy. So my mother said, baseball's over, let's go get a real job and go back to New York. So my father did. Became a New York City police officer in 1973. And he loved it. He was a very active police officer. He loved the city. He loved the uniform, took a lot of pride in it. However, curveball number 2 came. And in 1975, New York City, very similar to what we're going through now, went through a financial crisis. And they laid off, I believe, close to 5,000 police officers. My father was one of them. So again, we had to pack up. We went down to Florida. My father became a Broward County sheriff, but he hated the sun. My mother hated the sun. And luckily, a year and a half later, the New York City Fire Department again changed our lives when they started hiring again. So again, they threw little Billy and now my brother Joseph in the car, came back to New York, and my father became a New York City fireman.
My dad was
That's great. It's great. It's a great profession. It's a great honor. Absolutely. My most vivid memory of my father as a firefighter was when I was 13 years old in 8th grade. I was getting set. I was a week away from my 8th grade graduation, going into high school, and my father was involved in a fire in which he fell through a ceiling, and some of the flames and some of the debris went down his boot and burnt his leg. He had severe burns on his leg. So he was in the hospital. He had to get skin grafts. He was he was in pretty bad shape. On the day of my graduation, I went up to visit him in the hospital wearing my cap and gown. And obviously I was sad that he couldn't attend, but at least I got to see him. And that day, one of the top chiefs in the fire department came up to visit at the same time. So he was talking to my father and my mother, and he looked at me and he said, "So, Bill, are you going to be a firefighter like your dad?" And I said, "Hell no. Absolutely not." That's the same what my father just went through. So we went home that night, and I told my mother, I said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to be a fireman." And she was relieved. said, I'm going to be a cop. So she wasn't too happy with that. And that's exactly what happened. In 1989, I had the honor of being hired by the New York City Police Department, as a police officer here in the city.